Hi, this is Suzanne Stokes, Assistant Chair of the Board of the Magnolia State School Counselor Association. And today it's Fill a Form Friday, and we're going to talk about your School Counseling Advisory Council. Let's try that again. We're going to talk about your School Counseling Advisory Council. It's a mouthful, and we're going to look at your agenda and your meeting minutes. So for your agenda, you're going to fill in your first semester agenda. That's the one we're going to look at because that's going to be our fall meeting. And we're going to add our school name, our meeting date and time, your vision and mission statement. Now, if you don't have those, you can do a search online, or you can see if your district office already has that for you. But you want to include that because it's also going to be part of your Mississippi Counselor Growth Rubric. So go ahead and work on that if you haven't. And then your annual student outcome goals is going to come from that form that you've already completed for your annual conference with your administrator. So you can just copy it from there and paste it here. Now, agenda items, at a minimum, you see in parentheses. This comes from ASCA. They are suggesting that you include, at a minimum, the welcome and introduction, your school data summary discussion and feedback, and your action plans discussion and feedback. Now, these action plan items are also things that hopefully you've already completed the forms for, and you can just copy and paste them into this. And if you look to the right, you'll see a column that says school counselor facilitating this discussion. I'm the only one in my building. It makes it really easy, but if you have more than one counselor, you can put who's going to discuss each topic, and that makes it easier for you to stay on track. Also on this form was the closure. I did add an item that I like to discuss at my meetings, and that is the needs assessments. This also helps me to be accountable and complete those needs assessments for my teachers, parents, and students so that I have the data to share with my stakeholders. So that's our agenda in a nutshell. Now, I like to go ahead and complete my minutes in advance, or at least as much as I can. So when I write these minutes, I realize I only know what I plan to say to the board. I can't account for what they're going to say, but at least it helps me stay on track and gives me a starting point so that I don't completely forget what it is I said at the meeting. So again, you're going to fill in your school name, your meeting date, your start time, and only listed on this form, was not included on the other form, is your members present and their position. I try to have a member from each grade level. I also try to include an assistant teacher and an activity teacher. Sometimes you may want to include your school nurse. You want to include an administrator, and when possible, include a parent. And I know some counselors, depending on your grade level, like to include students. So if you look, your agenda items match your minute items. So school data summary, and again, I've already typed up a few notes so that I know what I'm planning to say to my stakeholders, and I'm not guessing. Then you'll see to the right, it says action items and who's responsible. As a school counselor, you want to make sure that the things that you're writing down are the things that are within your scope of things that we should be doing. I know we get thrown a few things that don't seem to fit us, but this would also be a good place for you to say, okay, MTSS process is going to fall under this, and I'm going to handle just the behavior part. And you might divvy out some other responsibilities to other people. But that's why you have your stakeholders there so that they can also say, yes, I see this fitting as this person's job duty. So you can follow through with that, and you can look and see that the next part shows that you're just going to wrap it up and you have your meeting date and time. And that way your stakeholders know when the next meeting will be and they're not having to guess. So real quick, wrapping it up. Thank you so much for being here for the month of August for Fill a Form Friday. Those were our meeting agenda and minutes for our School Counseling Advisory Council. And if you have any other questions for us, please visit us at magnoliastateschoolcounselor.org. Thanks.